The Liberty sky shimmered under the golden sun at Teterboro Airport, a private jet gleaming with the promise of luxury and exclusivity. Inside, the cabin exuded opulence, buttersoft leather seats, golden accents, and a gentle jazz melody that floated like perfume in the air. Passengers settled in with quiet anticipation, glasses of vintage champagne already in hand. Among them sat Naomi Kingston, late 30s, poised, composed, and wrapped in a navy blue suit tailored to quiet perfection. She didn't demand attention, but something in her presence commanded it. Naomi was here for business, high-level business, but nobody else on board had any idea who she truly was, and that was exactly how she preferred it. Boarding just after her were Mr. and Mrs. Peterson, clearly frequent flyers, greeted warmly by the lead flight attendant, Lauren Hayes. Lauren, immaculately dressed and sharp-featured, ruled the cabin like a queen of etiquette. She offered the Petersons a radiant smile, then turned to Naomi with a cool, indifferent nod. "Welcome aboard," she said, tone clipped and lukewarm. Naomi noticed the contrast but said nothing. She was used to being underestimated, and she'd learned to let assumptions speak for themselves. The aircraft was nearly full when Lauren returned, standing in front of Naomi with a practiced, artificial smile. "Ma'am," she began, voice smooth but condescending, "this seat is reserved for platinum-tier passengers." Naomi glanced up, calm and composed. "Yes, this is my seat." Lauren's smile tightened. "I don't think so. You may want to check the manifest," Naomi replied softly, her voice holding a steady confidence. "I don't need to check," Lauren snapped, tone sharper now. "I know who belongs up here and who doesn't." A few nearby passengers perked up. Tiffany Du Bois, a young socialite with diamond-studded sunglasses, leaned toward her companion. "She's probably trying to sneak a free upgrade," she whispered, not too quietly. Lauren folded her arms. "Move to the back, or I'll call security." Naomi blinked slowly. "You're making a mistake." Lauren gave a short laugh. "The only mistake is thinking you'd get away with it." Naomi didn't flinch. She took out her phone, typed something quickly, and set it on her armrest. "Call whoever you like. I'm not moving." The tension in the cabin thickened. Grace, the junior flight attendant, hovered nearby, uncertain. She glanced at the passenger list clipped at the front, hesitating. "Grace," Lauren barked. "Don't. I was just checking," Grace began. "I said I've got it." Grace retreated, cheeks flushed. Naomi said nothing more. She sat still, unshaken, while Lauren's frustration simmered just beneath the surface. Across the aisle, Mr. Henderson, an older gentleman with kind eyes and a crisp suit, leaned over. "Ma'am, are you all right?" Naomi gave a faint smile. "I'm fine, thank you." Lauren cut in sharply. "Sir, please don't encourage this disruption." "From where I'm sitting," he replied. "You're the one causing the disruption." Lauren's jaw tightened. Ignoring Naomi now, she stormed down the aisle. A few minutes later she returned, tray of water glasses in hand. She served every passenger around Naomi, the Petersons, Tiffany, Henderson, but skipped Naomi entirely. Naomi waited a moment, then spoke gently. "Excuse me, may I have a glass of water?" Lauren didn't stop. "I'll get to you when I can," she said coldly, and moved on. Naomi exhaled quietly, adjusting in her seat. She stretched one leg slightly into the aisle, unintentionally. Lauren passed by again, and this time didn't step aside. Her polished shoe clipped Naomi's leg. A sharp, sudden contact. Not hard, but unmistakably deliberate. Naomi straightened slowly, her eyes narrowing just slightly for the first time. Passengers noticed. Murmurs rose. Tiffany raised her brows. Mr. Henderson shifted uncomfortably in his seat. Still Naomi said nothing. She turned her head and looked at Lauren. Not angry, not startled, just calm. Calm in a way that made Lauren uneasy. Then Naomi picked up her phone again and tapped something quickly. She leaned back, voice quiet but firm. "You really don't know who you're dealing with." Lauren rolled her eyes. "That's right, I don't. And frankly, I don't care." Just then, Grace reappeared, hesitantly holding a tablet. She had taken a risk and checked the list anyway. Her voice wavered. Lauren, you may want to look at this." Lauren turned, annoyed. I told you no. Grace interrupted softly, screen in hand. You really need to see this. Lauren snatched the tablet and scanned the highlighted name. Her face went pale. Passengers leaned in. Naomi simply adjusted her jacket and looked out the window, serene as ever. Outside, the jet engines hummed, ready for takeoff. But inside, everything was about to change. The moment the cuffs snapped around Malik's wrists, his world tilted again. The courtroom had just ordered his release, and yet here he was, being shoved against a police cruiser, face to metal. What the hell are you doing? Rachel shouted, storming toward the officers. The judge just released him. One officer glanced at her, but said nothing. The other, younger, looked nervous. We got new orders. From who? Rachel barked. Malik didn't resist. He just stared at the asphalt beneath his feet, fighting the heat rising in his chest. This couldn't be happening. Not again. Inside the precinct, the atmosphere was colder, literally and figuratively. Captain Bryce entered, face grave. There's been a mistake, he said quietly to the officers. This isn't the guy. Sir, the younger cop stammered. We had a tip. A false one, Bryce snapped. This man has already been cleared by the court. Who authorized this arrest? The officers hesitated, then mumbled, Detective Blake. Rachel's eyes flared. Of course it was him. Malik met Bryce's eyes. You know this is personal. Bryce nodded grimly. I'm sorry, Malik. I thought this would end today. Rachel stepped in. We're not letting this go. We'll file a motion, pursue a formal complaint. Bryce hesitated. He shouldn't have been anywhere near this case. I'll talk to the chief myself. The holding cell's metal door groaned open. Malik stepped out, rubbing his wrists. Third time this week, he muttered. Outside, the night air felt too still. Rachel matched his pace as they walked toward her car. You okay? He gave a wry laugh. You get used to being the bad guy when people need one. You're not the bad guy, she said firmly. At her apartment, she offered him coffee, but Malik declined. I need to think, to breathe. Rachel nodded. There's something else. That kid, the real suspect. He was caught. Malik turned sharply. What? She nodded. Surveillance footage. He was wearing your jacket. Someone set this up. Malik's jaw tightened. Blake. Rachel hesitated. Maybe, but this goes deeper. Someone wanted you off the streets, fast. The next morning, Bryce called. We need to talk. In person. Malik met him in an old diner, back booth. Bryce slid a file across the table. This is what we missed. Someone altered the arrest report. Your name was swapped in. Malik opened the folder. The mugshot wasn't his, but the name tag read Malik Reed. I knew it, he said. They wanted me to take the fall. Bryce sighed. Whoever did this has access, real access. This isn't some rookie prank. Rachel later confirmed the same. I traced the login. It came from Blake's terminal, but it could have been anyone using his credentials. Blake doesn't share his desk, Malik replied coldly. He wants me gone. Later that day, Bryce arranged a meeting with Chief Hayes. Malik sat across from the chief, staring into the eyes of the man who could end this nightmare, or extend it. You've been through hell, Hayes said. I reviewed the footage, the reports. This isn't acceptable. Malik nodded. I want to know who's behind it. You'll get your answers, Hayes promised. Blake's under internal review, but we also found something else. He placed a photograph on the desk. Malik, years ago, standing over a body. You remember this? Malik stiffened. That was my last case. I was cleared. Officially, Hayes said. But someone's been using that image in blackmail. Rachel, who had accompanied Malik, frowned. To what end? To discredit you, Hayes said. To silence you. Back at Rachel's office, Malik dropped into a chair, exhausted. Why won't this end? Rachel studied him. Because you're still standing. And they hate that. That evening, Malik sat alone at a small park bench. He watched children play, their laughter ringing across the street. He used to sit there in uniform, guarding a world he believed in. Now, he wasn't sure what he believed anymore. His phone buzzed. Unknown number. He hesitated, then answered. You're not done yet, the voice said. But you're getting close. Click. He stared at the screen, pulse racing. Then, slowly, a smile crept onto his face. Let them come. He was ready now.